Westbrook was Maine's fastest growing city for the last decade, and yet most Portland buyers still think it's a mill town. That reputation is about a decade out of date, and it's quietly creating one of the best value plays in Greater Portland right now. Today, I'm breaking down the numbers, the $600 million development reshaping the city, and the 3 mistakes buyers keep making here. I'm going to start with one of my favorite things about Westbrook. Its locations. The city is about 5 miles from downtown Portland, and it's the number most buyers completely underestimate when they write the city off. Westbrook sits in Cumberland County, directly west of Portland. Under normal conditions, and I see this every single day, that's a 10 to 15 minute drive. That's it. Now let's talk access. You've got I-95 with a direct exit right at the Westbrook-Portland line, exit 48. That's the same exit that also serves Rock Row development, which we'll get to in a minute. Route 302 runs straight through the heart of Westbrook. It's a key east-west corridor that connects Portland to the Sebago Lake region and western Maine. And if you don't want the highway at all, Brighton Ave to Main Street brings you directly to Portland without ever touching 95. Plus, the Greater Portland Metro bus links right from Westbrook to Portland, South Portland, Falmouth, and Gorham. So what does that mean for you? If you work in Portland's medical corridor, Maine Health, and Maine Medical Center alone, they employ over 12,000 people, and you can get there in minutes. Same story for the Old Port, Bayside, anywhere on the peninsula, and to Portland International Jetport, less than 10 minutes from parts of Westbrook. That proximity matters. And here's what nobody's telling you. That 5-mile gap is shrinking in terms of perception, fast. When we get to the revitalization story, you'll see exactly why. But first, let's talk commute. Your commute time significantly impacts your daily quality of life, and it also directly impacts long-term resale value. Buyers always pay a premium to be near major employment centers. Westbrook is close. That proximity isn't going anywhere, but the price gap between Westbrook and Portland hasn't fully closed yet. But the numbers behind the gap are more significant than most buyers realize going in. Opportunity lives in that gap right now. And guys, if you're watching this and thinking Westbrook might actually be on the move, whether you're relocating from out of state or you're just done with Portland pricing, I'd love to be your boots on the ground. Send me an email today. All my info is in the description down below. Now let's keep going. Most buyers look at Westbrook's price tag and assume something's missing. Here's what's actually going on. Right now, Westbrook has around 21,000 residents. It was the fastest growing city in Maine from 2010 to 2020, and it's still growing at roughly 1% annually. That size works. It's big enough to support restaurants, retail, and a real community feel, but it's still manageable. You're not lost in it. Now let's talk about price, because this is what really matters. I pulled data across multiple sources to make sure it's accurate. Zillow, Homes.com, and Realtor.com all cluster Westbrook in the low to mid 400s. Compare that to Portland. Portland values are running in the low to mid 500s on average, with single-family homes averaging over $720,000 in 2025. That gap is real. We're talking about $100,000 to $200,000 or more, depending on the property type. That's not small. But here's what nobody's telling you. The number that actually changes your monthly payment isn't just price, it's also property taxes. Westbrook's current tax rate is $15.10 per $1,000 of assessed value. On a $450 home in Westbrook, you're paying around $5,500 to $6,000 per year in property taxes. Now, inventory numbers, Cumberland County's months of supply hit 2.7 months in January 2026. When we talk about months of supply, that just means if no other home got listed, it would take that many months to absorb or sell all the inventory. Now, that 2.7 months in January is up 39% year over year. Still technically a strong seller's market, but it's moving. Homes in Westbrook are averaging around 50 days on the market, but that is skewed by new construction homes being listed or homes that are overpriced. Competitive properties will move in just under 2 weeks. Now compare that to the 5 days on market median we saw just a couple years ago, and there's been a lot of movement. And when we get to what buyers are consistently getting wrong about the city, the timing piece connects directly back to it, so stay tuned. Now prices in a neighboring city rise faster than wages, and the demand spills over. That's exactly what's happening here. Westbrook is Portland's pressure valve, if you think about it, and the window to take advantage of that is wide open right now. But price alone isn't driving the shift. The revitalization story here is the part that changes how you should be thinking about Westbrook entirely, and that's where this gets interesting. Most people hear Westbrook and still picture smokestacks and old mill buildings. That outdated image is actively costing buyers money. It's keeping them out of a market that's been transforming for years. Let's start with the biggest development story in Greater Portland right now. Nothing else is even close. Rock Row is a $600 million plus 110-acre development built on a former quarry site off exit 48 off 95, right on the Westbrook-Portland line. And this isn't a plan sitting on paper waiting for funding, it's already happening. A $140 million healthcare campus launched in early 2024, anchored by New England cancer specialist, a Dana-Farber Cancer Institute affiliate, along with the Dempsey Center, surgical practices, and radiology. Here you have options. You have Market Basket, REI, Starbucks, Chick-fil-A, and Lone Pine Brewing outdoor quarry-side beer garden. Now here's where the long-term math shifts. Maine's first Cinemark movie theater is expected in 2026, a major open-flame dining concept also targeting 2026. Maine's largest conference and event center, a year-round 5,000 plus capacity venue, luxury apartments, boutique hotels, and Class A office space. Full build-out targeted for 2030. And in 2025, the planning board held a joint session with Portland to review Rock Row South Campus expansion. That tells you everything. This isn't slowing down. The entire development wraps around a 26-acre, 200-foot-deep natural quarry that's being built into a four-season recreation and events hub. And here's a detail most people miss. The project already includes Maine's first commercial building constructed from cross-laminated timber. No joke. When we get to the three mistakes buyers are making right now in a moment, you'll see why all this development context matters. Now, Rock Row is the headline, but it's not the whole story. Downtown Westbrook has been building momentum on a completely separate track. It earned Main Street America accreditation. That's national recognition. The food and craft beer scene is real. Masked Landing runs 7 days a week with over 100 beer varieties. And yes, brewing has been operating since 2017. Westbrook On Tap rotates local drafts consistently. Casa Novel holds the #1 TripAdvisor rating in the city. An authentic Italian restaurant open 5 nights a week. Blaze's Burgers relocated to a larger space because demand outgrew the original. Stockhouse Restaurant runs a full menu with an outdoor patio 7 days a week in the summer. That's identity, not temporary momentum. And running straight through all of it is the Presumpscot River. The Westbrook Riverwalk stretches about 1.2 miles along the south bank. In 2024, they secured a $4 million EPA Brownfields cleanup grant to fund the Riverwalk North expansion. That's a 2-mile continuing loop that connects both sides of the river to one another. The planning board sketch review is expected early this year in 2026. Federal money is behind this. This matters. Let me give you one detail that captures Westbrook's character. In January 2019, a 300-foot wide spinning ice disc in the Presumpscot River downtown. National Geographic even covered it. Tens of thousands of people showed up. That moment put Westbrook on the national map. Not because of marketing, because of something unexpected happening in its own backyard. That's the kind of place this is. What you're seeing across Rock Row, downtown, and the riverfront isn't 3 separate stories. It's one city building 3 layers of value at the same exact time. And the housing inventory sitting inside all of that, that's where real buying decisions are made. Here's something that surprises almost every buyer I work with. Westbrook's lower price point is not a sign of lower quality. It's a different housing mix. And once you understand that, the real value story gets a lot clearer. Near downtown and along the river, you'll find older single-family homes from the early to mid-1900s. That's the Mill-era foundation. Brick, solid bones, real character. You can't replicate that today. Move further out from the center, and you get 1980s to 2000s subdivisions. More suburban feel, larger lots, more square footage for the money. That variety is part of the opportunity. Now let's talk new construction, because this side is growing. The headline project right now is Clover Terraces. It's about 45 condo units, broke ground in November of 2024 near downtown Westbrook. Built to Passive House standards using locally sourced cedar, 1 and 2 bedroom units range from 500 to 650 square feet. Occupancy is expected spring of 27. Early buyers do have some incentives on the table right now. And it's not just condos. The broader campus includes 65 apartments for graduate students and 61 units for residents 55 and older. That's intentional density near downtown. Now move out for a second. Across the region, builders are offering rate buy-down incentives during slower market periods. That's real leverage if you know how to use it. Build times in Maine typically run 6 to 10 months depending on the season. Winter does slow things down. You need to factor that in if you're timing a move. But here's the bigger picture. Westbrook simply has fewer of the ultra high priced historic homes that push Portland's median way up. That's not compromise, that's the source of the value gap. And here's what nobody's telling you. Buyers who understand the mix are the ones who get in at the right time. The ones who hesitate often circle back a year later, wishing they'd moved sooner. That's the difference. Here's where I want to get real with you for a minute. I work with buyers around Portland every single day, and 3 assumptions about Westbrook keep coming up. Every single one of them is costing people money. Some are missing the right home. Some are sitting on the sidelines, waiting for that moment that already passed. So let me clear this up before you make the same call. Start with thinking Westbrook is still a mill town. That's mistake number 1. Yes, Westbrook has had a strong industrial identity. The Presumpscot River powered sawmills and cotton mills all the way back in the 1800s. That history is real, but it's history. Right now, a $600 million mixed-use development is rising at its border. Historic mills have been converted into creative hubs. Take the Dana Wrap Mill building at 90 Bridge Street. Originally 250,000 square feet, originally built in the 1860s as a cotton mill. Today, it's home to design studios, photography studios, ceramic spaces, co-working offices, you name it. Chinburg Properties bought it in 2018. Tenants there are paying lease rates roughly half to a third of comparable space in downtown Portland. That's not a decline, that's repositioning. The Milltown label reflects Westbrook's past. It does not describe its trajectory. Now, let's talk about mistake number 2, comparing Westbrook to Portland. Westbrook is not Portland. It doesn't have a nationally recognized food scene packed into a walkable peninsula. It doesn't have a working waterfront at scale, and it's not trying to be. Here's the right framework. Westbrook is a valuable alternative with real proximity benefits. You're close to Portland jobs, dining, and culture, but you're living in a city with a lower entry price and a development pipeline building towards a 2030 full build-out. That's a different product. For a lot of buyers, it's actually a better one. And finally, the third mistake, waiting too long. This is one that stings. When a core city's prices rise faster than wages, adjacent cities absorb spillover and demand. That pattern repeats across metro areas nationwide. Westbrook has already seen roughly 16% population growth over the last decade. Rock Row continues building through 2030. The River Trail expansion has federal grant money behind it. New amenities are coming online every single year. And here's what nobody's telling you. The price gap between Westbrook and Portland exists today, and it may not exist in the same way 5 years from now. This window won't stay open indefinitely. Timing matters. Westbrook isn't the compromise option. It's the move buyers made that did their homework 2 years ago. Right now, the window is still open, but the $600 million Rock Row build-out has a finish line. The timeline doesn't wait. So if you're serious about getting into the greater Portland market before the next wave pushes it further, email me. I'll run a real side-by-side price comparison based on your exact budget. No guesses, real numbers. And if you want to see where greater Portland's ultra wealthy are actually buying, I've linked that video right here. Completely different price point, but understanding that market changes how you think about value at the entry level. Check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.